new state of the plant, built to the latest Toyota manufacturing standards.
Global standards.
I have a video of that tour in my channel, so go watch that. So, but you see, the thing is that Toyota has been in Malaysia for 50 years making cars.
They've been around longer than I've been alive in Malaysia, I would say.
So their first car that rolled out from the plant, it's the Corolla KE10.
You have a picture of it, haven't you?
The first gen Corolla, the KE10.
Nice.
That was assembled locally in Malaysia. And shortly after that, they followed with the Corona. And they have been continuing to assemble cars in Malaysia since. The same plant is still in operation right now in Shah Alam, but that plant is now focused on making the Hilux, the Fortuner, the Innova, all these
the more modern day
the more commercial, more rugged type of vehicles, the IMV cars.
Okay.
So I mean it's 50 years making cars here in Malaysia, and
1969, that means they started.
They're about 68, 69.
I mean, Toyota, they've been around
for very, very
they
long time.
preceded Proton's arrival to the scene by a good 20 over years.
Definitely.
Right? So during the time before Proton was around, Toyota, together with I think Nissan at the time, Mazda, these were the guys that were providing the modes of transport for the masses,
and also for car enthusiasts. Because I think not you, but maybe your dad or your granddad might have cut his teeth on the streets with a Toyota KE30, KE35, KE70. Those were the cars that were very, very much ingrained into the psyche of Malaysian drivers.
When I was born, my family had a Corolla KE70 as a family.
Everybody had everybody's family must
all
have
the
had a
KE something, they are all Corollas, right?
And they are all rear-wheel drive.
And
the KEs are rear-wheel drive.
That is why I got my first taste into the old school aspect of how Toyota was so much part of our lives in the past. I mean, everybody can remember, oh, what a feeling. Toyota. So it was the KE70, and the reason I wanted the KE70 was because one, it had a manual 5-speed transmission, and two, it was rear-wheel drive. You will also find that KE70s, heavily modded KE70s, are very popular in the drift scene in Malaysia, because they're easy to fix, they're easy to maintain. Although they only had 1.3 power plants, a lot of the drift cars, in fact I would say all the drift cars that are KE70s are not running.
They all run on 1.6, I think.
They are all running probably 4AGEs, or in some cases even more. I mean, 4AGE is a legendary engine, so very good engine, very strong engine. In fact, one of the top 10 best engines in the world, it was actually voted recently. So a lot of those cars are actually running 4AGEs for added power through the rear wheels.
Remember during the time of the KE70, right? The cars actually carried a 5-speed badge.
Because 5-speed was a big. It wasn't just the Corollas. Nissan Sunny had a 5-speed badge at the back, because 5-speed was really something, and now we've got 10-speed transmissions.
Well, I still haven't owned a car with more than 5 speeds.
Well, I've never owned a car with 6.
So just now you guys were saying that the Corolla has always been rear-wheel drive. It was in the racing scene.
Not all Corollas, because after the KE70 they came up with the SE that went to front-wheel drive.
So it was a car enthusiast car.
Very much so.
They are reliable. And they handle well. That's what a lot of people love.
Relatively for that time.
Of course, the Initial D did a lot to.
I blame Initial D completely for the rise in price. It quadrupled after Initial D. The price of the AE86 quadrupled.
You're being conservative.
Good ones are running about 100,000 ringgit now. Okay, it's mad, and I squarely blame Initial D for that.
Then even before that, the KE70 generation, that generation also had a lift-back model.
There were many iterations based on the same platform.
Were there any cars below the Corolla segment from Toyota or above during that time?
Below or before, there was the KE30, which was basically a smaller KE70.
It's still called a Corolla.
And 4 doors, but slightly more notchish back.
But the Corolla at the time was the entry level.
Definitely,
Toyota.
it was definitely the entry level to
It's what the Vios is today. Now that the Corolla has moved up the food chain, so the Vios has stepped into what the Corolla used to be.
Correct. It was also raced quite a lot in Batu Tiga. I miss the Batu Tiga track. It was raced quite a lot in Batu Tiga with much success, going up against the likes of Ford Escorts, Mazdas. So yeah, the racing pedigree of the earlier Toyotas was very well documented. At that time, no social media, no internet, no website, nothing. It was very well documented in magazines and newspapers. A lot of the old timers who raced at Batu Tiga will tell you with much affinity how well the Toyotas did.
You know, nowadays, right, we always say Toyotas are known for their bulletproof quality, their reliability on it, but that wasn't always the case, isn't it? I'm sure during the time of, say, the KE10, the KE20s, the KE30s, the Toyotas may not have been so reliable as they are today, would they?
Actually, they were.
Because they always.
I mean, even Toyota, those days they were known to be.
I believe Toyota built its reputation for reliability and dependability on those old Toyotas, the old Corollas. And
they were reliable right from day one.
From day one, because the Japanese were very clever in doing this. They made, and there was one point in time. Japanese car makers were copying everything from America. You know, even this was copied from a Mustang. You know, things like that.
A Camaro.
This is the Toyota 2000 GT. You know, it was styled after a Jaguar E-Type.
Oh,
you know, the long,
beautiful
with the long bonnet.
I think this is
prettier. It's beautiful.
I love this car.
A little bit of trivia: the James Bond in You Only Live Twice. This was the hero car of that movie.
Amazing,
You Only Live Twice. And Toyota never intended to build a cabriolet, a drop-top version of it, but Sean Connery couldn't fit in the car. So they sent it back, cut off the roof, and lo and behold, cabriolet.
But after that, was that a cabriolet version?
There were very limited numbers.
I think this car is worth a lot of money now.
It was the first million ringgit Japanese classic that was auctioned off. It's the first one to reach a million.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
I mean, they should build a modern rendition of this.
I wish,
but not in that size anymore.
No,
you know, make it huge, big.
Bigger. You know, one of the interesting things about the way Japanese built cars, though, was while they were copying the Americans in terms of design, they were putting in their own ideas in terms of the living space. They call it the living space, which is inside the car. Now, the Americans were building cars from the outside in. So they had huge cars, very, very big cars, like, you know, Corvairs and all that, very, very big, but they were building it from the outside in. So by the time they got to the inside, that's your driving position.
Crispy wouldn't fit.
No.
Yeah, you notice how this car, right, the glass area, the passenger area occupies such a small percentage of the car's length.
This car is probably double the size of a Honda City. The Honda City probably has
more
double the size.
Exactly.
So while they were doing that, they were again in very Japanese tradition, making it faster, making it better, making it cheaper,
more reliable,
and more reliable. So this is where the advent of the Japanese cars started to come to their own. You know, and even here in Malaysia, there was a time when, you know, Ford Granadas and stuff like that were sold. Mercedes Benzes, Volvos, those were seen as the premium luxury. For example, my Mercedes W126. Back in 1982, it was priced at $89,000. Because we didn't even have RM back then. Ringgit wasn't even invented, so it was $89,000. And for that price, you could buy 2 houses in Kelana Jaya. How crazy is that? 2 houses for the price of 1 car. And that is also why I believe that they came up with this luxury tax problem. Big cars, big engines are seen as luxury goods, so tax them, road tax. Without classic status, my car's road tax is ridiculous. It's 1,600 a year. So that is why I think this thoughts of luxury items must have a bigger tax. It was because of cars like this. So Toyota started making smaller cars, smaller engines, 1.3. That's very cheap. You know, and that wasn't even the smallest engine. There were cars that were coming out with 900cc engine, Daihatsu Charade, 900cc engine. You know, things like 3 cylinders, and people found that, of course, the gas crisis in America also spurred a lot of this on. A lot of this was spurred on by the gas crisis in America. But back home, we didn't really have that problem. But still, because the cars were available, they were being brought here, and they were being very well accepted. They were cheap, they were reliable, they were fun to drive, and they were easy to maintain.
So you were in this line for like 25 years?
Been in it for about 25 years.
So which era was it whereby when Toyota launched a new Corolla or anything, then you guys were like, wow, that is a leap forward in generation gap. Which generation of Corolla was that?
Probably, the actual model, probably the SEG.
The E101.
Yeah.
1992.
Thereabouts. When it first came out.
I think that's my favorite
Wow,
Corolla.
My mom had that.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. And they're still running around. That shows you how reliable they are. They're still
and there's a
many
cult
out there.
following.
Very much so.
And it looks very aerodynamic, right?
Yeah.
Before that, it was all squarish and all that, right?
Yeah, very true.
Right.
The KE70 was the epitome of a designer designing a car with a ruler and paper. Ruler, pencil, paper.
But 80s, that's the trend.
That was the
all
trend.
the cars were
Boxy.
squarish in the 80s.
Squarish. And then they went to... the Italians went to the wedge shape. You remember the wedge shape where the car was slanted forward and very thin front, very back. Alfa 155 had that.
Very hard to package an engine.
Very
in that kind of format, right?
Very. And surprisingly, those cars also suffered from a very old problem that we don't have anymore. They were more biased for left-hand drive. So the car was made with the gearbox on the other side, so that the driver is going to be on this side, so it's a better balance. But when you turn it to right-hand drive, all the weight is on one side.
I find it funny. I see a lot of instances whereby European car makers, when they did a right-hand drive version, you spot things that you can imagine. At one point, they go, let's get it over and done with. Let's roll it out.
Just roll it out.
But that kind of way of doing things, right, is unacceptable in Japanese culture.
No, they can't do it. They can't do it like that.
They just won't.
They wouldn't do that.
To them, it's like, how can you do this to your own customer?
Exactly.
Right? The Japanese hospitality and all that, right?
They treat their buyers and their owners like family. So they wouldn't do this to their family. So don't do it. I mean, there are some cars like my E30, for example. It's so obvious the gearbox was made for a left-hand drive car because reverse. If you're in a left-hand drive car, to engage reverse is just pull it over and up. But if you're right-hand drive, you have to push it and up
with a bit of strength.
With a bit, quite a lot of strength actually. I kind of hurt my shoulder the other day.
Actually, I find sometimes in European cars, right, some of the things that they do is like they want to pull a lever and then go into reverse. Or the seats, you turn the dial.
That
thing.
dial.
You have to come up and turn.
I find that very annoying.
Unnecessary.
One lever done.
Unnecessarily cumbersome. So the Japanese knew this, and that is why they started. Hey, no, we don't need a dial there. Just
doesn't
put a
make
lever.
sense, right?
Just put a lever and then it's done.
You have 4 steps instead of infinite,
Exactly. Exactly.
So at which point was it that you just now mentioned the SEG, 1991 or 92, right?
Yeah, thereabouts.
At that point, is Toyota already like the nation's preferred car to buy?
In terms of...
Were they like already number one?
They were already there. They were number one for quite a while. Before the advent of Proton, right? Proton came in about 95. And I remember there was 1985. And I remember I wasn't in the industry then. I was still in Form 5. But the core motoring journalists were all very worried that once Proton is coming in and they were going to sell cars that were a lot cheaper than Toyotas and Mazdas and Datsuns, what's going to happen to the rest of the car industry? Are people just going to tap out their goods and go back? But no, they didn't. They persevered, and thank God they did. Because can you imagine a country with just one national car on the road? I definitely can't. But in terms of Toyota reliability, it got to a point where the first thing that came to people's minds about Toyota was reliable. The same way many people think Volvo, safety. Right?
Remember that ad? That Corolla ad?
There were so many really good
two guys were driving, there was a lady waving her hand.
Because the guy wanted to stop. Had broken down,
and the guy was like, no,
don't stop, run, go.
There's a track.
Yes.
So Corolla will never break down.
Never break down. And then as the car goes by, the lady's eyes clip this way.
It's cemented in our minds.
Toyota came out with some freaking awesome ads.
Really.
And I think Toyota never forgot their mission in providing affordable cars, because you see, right, the Corolla gradually escalated in terms of its positioning
and in terms of its quality.
So then, but when we reached the 2000s, when the Corolla went past the 100,000 mark thereabouts, in came the Vios, in came the Avanza.
That
fill
like
in
a
the gap,
tsunami,
fill in the gaps.
Right, it was like I remember Kaining. He saw the ad, the Avanza ad. First day they came out with the ad. 59,999 Toyota Avanza. He saw that ad. he straight away pestered me to a Toyota dealership.
Yep.
Went there were scores of people there already.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Look at the Avanza, paid booking straight away.
Yeah.
He was like, a Toyota at this price point.
At this price point,
yeah.
Everybody wants to be in a Toyota.
Yeah. It filled the gap that was actually vacant.
Yeah.
You know, the Avanza, it filled the gap that was actually vacant. So Toyota has been very clever in reading the market and giving the people what they want. The first rule of media. Remember, I told you that. Give the people what they want. That's what they've been doing. Yeah.
So if we reverse back a little bit, okay, now we know like there are Vios, Corolla, Camry.
Yes. Don't forget the Corona. There was a
so
Corona
back
at one
then
point.
in a Toyota dealership during the KE70 days, right?
Yeah.
You walk into a Toyota dealership, you see a KE70 Corolla, a Corona,
yes.
PE, don't know what.
Yeah, the old Corona. Yeah.
Right? And what else?
Hiace.
Good question. Hiace. Toyota Hiace. Light Ace.
My God, remember you
the
see
vans.
there are still so many Light Aces running around serving the needs of Pasar Malam dealers.
That 1.5 engine will go on forever.
Yeah.
Will go on forever. And also part of the reason why you see still so many KE70s and genuine enthusiasts for the car is because those cars were built to last. You know, when you mentioned this just now, when back then when manufacturers said we build a car to last, they meant a lifetime. This time when they say it's built to last a lifetime, it's how many years?
10 years.
There you go. Cars are built this today with a shelf life, basically, in terms of their not just their wear and tear parts, but their components as well. Their components actually have a shelf life. After a while, you have to change it.
1992, the SCG came out.
Yeah.
94, the Camry.
Camry.
Oh, that Camry is. I mean, my grandpa bought one.
The GX, the 2.2 GX.
Oh yes,
it's
so good. That car is.
You know, I just saw a very funny meme the other day. A picture of that 2.2 GX. And Toyota Global has issued a global recall for the Toyota 2.2 Camry GX because owners should have really bought something new by now. That is epic.
Yeah.
Because they are still running and they're running strong.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's very easy to find one in good condition.
Very easy.
Very easy.
Owners love their Camrys. Really love their Camrys.
So that one arrived 1994.
Thereabouts, yes.
And when I was in school back then, I remember I saw a Supra billboard.
A Toyota Supra billboard.
So you were already in the media line
already
at the time already, right?
Yeah. Where did you see this billboard? Because I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing.
So they officially brought in the Supra back then. But did they do any media event or whatever?
I was not aware of that at the time.
Maybe it was introduced 1993 or something, right?
I think the Supra was brought in, of course, in very limited numbers. It was not a bread and butter car like the 70 and all that. They also had the Celica. The Celica,
yes.
This model,
yes.
They brought these in
this
as well.
Right?
See, they brought in some very exciting cars, but then fast forward another 10-20 years, they're playing it very safe now. They don't bring in any more really sporty cars.
There was also a time whereby after
the
the Japanese economy crisis, all the Japanese car makers pulled back on their extravagant sports cars and supercars, right? They were going mad in the 90s, right?
And that's why the current generation, but the one generation back Supra is valued at about 300,000 ringgit.
Yeah, I think it will go up.
And it's going up.
It's already gone up, bro. And it's only going.
And this is $1 million. That is just insane. But so Toyota has been a part of, I think, just about everybody's lives. Growing up, I'm sure your dad and mom or your granddad or your grandmom probably drove a Toyota. It was a very close fight during that time between Toyota and Datsun and Mazda and even Ford to an extent. Definitely Ford, can't forget it. These were the core players in the industry. This is before the time of Proton.
The Vios, when it came in, it was crazy. The Vios, the Britney Spears ad. Was that Brad Pitt at one point?
Brad Pitt, Spears, they went all out. I mean, the Vios was meant to shake up the car industry, and
it looks good.
Definitely did.
And then it became the car that every fresh grad, after they come out to work, that is the first thing they're aiming for. Aiming for the Vios.
As long as they are loan, as long as they can get loan right, that can afford them better than a Myvi or a Waja or
straight away. I'll tell you what happened when the Vios came out. It was almost coincided, or rather at almost the same time as the Tadpole Honda City.
Yes.
It was almost within a month of each other or something like that. And overnight, Proton sales bookings dropped to 50%.
Really?
Because suddenly there was a car that hey, it's the same price as pretty much
a high spec Wira. Wajah.
And I've got a choice now. You know, if I want something in this segment that's non-national, I have got a choice of two very good cars. And that's how badly.
And the reputation from Toyota.
The badge value itself.
Yes.
Toyota, it's a no-brainer.
Around that year, Toyota launched that Camry. The one that leapfrogged the Camry from a car that is a basic family car to one that is almost the size of the old S-Class.
That's right. It was a big car.
Toyota basically single-handedly changed how these segments were sized.
Yes.
And perceived in terms of what expected quality.
My family bought one as well because literally that time my whole family's cars are Toyotas. It's like there's a Camry, the old.
You had a Crown.
Now I have a Crown.
You got a Crown.
Now I have a Crown.
Toyota Crown. That's one car that it's just very, very appealing.
I still remember that Camry when my grandpa bought the Camry back home. I was like, wow, it's huge.
Yes.
And then when you sit inside the car, it's like, oh my god, the space and everything.
They built that car for the Americans. Camry raised the bar for the whole segment, actually, not just for Toyota, for the whole segment. And then Toyota Malaysia realized that families tend to grow. You know, suddenly they got more kids. Give you answer.
Answer! Oh, who remembers that app? Who remembers that app?
Along chasing the guy.
Yeah.
He ran into the
answer.
Epic.
All those
both run into the answer.
Yeah.
And then the Along comes out. Boss, sorry, I lost him.
Yeah. Then the guy came out.
Spacious.
大佬啊，俾你走咗。
So yeah, Toyota has been a part of our lives for a very, very long time. In fact, as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And I think they're still going to be around. I mean, they also got other interests like Gazoo Racing, where they actually race the Vios.
Yeah. And actually, this is a very interesting program because it is making motorsport. Well, motorsport is expensive at any level. I like to say, but it's making motorsports that bit more affordable.
Affordable, yes.
They put in a lot of effort in this.
Yes.
So I think we need another episode where we talk about Toyota's effort in all this.
Yes, we should.
Right?
Yeah.
The racing tech that they have.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a bit crazy,
We talk about their special cars.
Like
the
we just open up a can of topics.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So
stay tuned for more.
Before we wrap this up. Okay. For those of you who don't know, Toyota may be a family name, but the family name is actually Toyota.
Yes.
Right. Some trivias. And just now we mentioned Camry.
Yeah.
Camry came from the word kanmuri in Japanese. And kanmuri in Japanese means crown.
Yes.
Crown.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So Camry and Crown are related.
Sort of.
Yeah.
And you say the Toyota family name. The Da at the back is actually the same as the Da behind Honda. In the character is the same. When you write in Japanese.
That means the rice fields.
Yes.
Tian.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, we learn something new every day. Excellent. So thank you for joining us for this first part. There will be more to come. Stay tuned and find out how Toyota became part of Malaysian culture. Nice.
All right.
Cool.
Cheers, guys.
See you all.